I have a very important question to ask. How many of you guys actually knew that in the oil rig scene that this was Rod Redline? When I was younger, I thought it was Grem. Do not ask me why, because Grem literally shows up in that same scene when they unveil the crushed, compacted box of Leland Turbo. I guess I just assumed that it was still Grem, and then like it was Acer that called Professor Z over. I don't know what was going on in my mind, but I know a lot of people out there too that had no idea that on the oil rig that this was Rod Redline, despite that we knew that obviously he used a gremlin disguise at the Tokyo party. Just took me a couple years to realize that was also him at the oil rig. So it's a cool connection, but this is, of course, I guess, Rod Redline in disguise. This guy, despite being very minimalistic in terms of screen time in the movie because of his unfortunate, fate of dying very early on, he has quite a lot of variants that can actually be used as potential diecast. We only got 2 of them. We could technically have 5. You could have regular Rod Redline, damaged Rod Redline, which is the only 2 that we have. Rod Redline with the impound boot / also damaged, that was canceled. This one right here, and technically a transforming Rod, where he's like in the process of transforming back to being the Mustang, not really that easy to do, but hey, I mean, it's a possibility. But this is transforming Rod. You can see in the nice expression here, and of course, it's quite the cool disguise. The fact that these are supposed to be the same characters is really interesting. Now, obviously, I can't do it one-to-one on the scale, and by the way, if it isn't already known, this is an alternate reality episode. So this Rod Redline, obviously, he can't really compact himself. So if they really did this, then it would have to be a unique model. It would have to be a gremlin model that is the exact same length as Rod. I can't even get it on the screen because of how long Rod is relative to my camera, but you guys know what I mean. It's basically it's this gremlin model, but it would need maybe another inch to it so it can actually be like Rod, because this is just a repaint of any other gremlin that Mattel has released from Cars 2. But really love the expression, the nice chill smirky expression, very closed eyes going on. And this is this is probably another reason why a lot of people mistake him for Grem. It's very similar to Grem's colors, but it's a brighter orange. Grem is a little bit more of a just relaxed orange, I should say. This is a little bit more pop out. I kind of described this as a orange, like the fruit, and then this is kind of like a basketball orange. That's the best way I could describe it. But obviously different hockey stripe too, with this kind of neon green hockey stripe going on. Same kind of rims. I don't know why he took off the disguise now that I'm in that conversation, because maybe he took off the disguise because the only way that he could start his tracker for Finn to know where he's at, because otherwise that was insanely stupid to do. But yeah, this is a nice side-by-side comparison, who this is supposed to be. I know it's hard to believe, but honestly, Cars 2 had a lot more wackier things than this going on, let's be honest. But it's a really nice expression. Very, honestly, even if Mattel released this and just used this model, yeah, it wouldn't be accurate because it still would have to go around rods, so the logistics and physics behind that wouldn't align, but I still would have taken that as a release. This would have been so popular. Honestly, I could see this being a good fit for a chase or something like that, back when they're doing chases. Dare I say a super chase, just because it's another character in disguise or something else looks completely different. It's such a cool concept. But yeah, it's crazy. If you're a casual person, you would think that these two are variants of each other almost. No, it's not. It's just Rod here. Obviously, the cars that I have in the background, as you can see, are applicable to this because he appears in both ways, at the Tokyo party and at the start. At the oil rig, kind of appears like this with, I guess, a Muggsy lifts him. The one we're supposed to assume is Muggsy, because they have quite a few of these forklifts on the oil rig. But he had the camera in a case, and Professor Z was there talking to this guy right here about what the camera actually does. Obviously, being a secret agent, trying to get secret info under disguise, blah, 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 of course. So that is where the first time it appears, and then he appears at the Tokyo party, kind of on the ledge. It was kind of like this. You can do a little scene recreation. I don't know what order they were in on the ledge, but it was just these 4, right next to each other, standing over the ledge. Again, don't know why I didn't know it was Grem then, because with that logic, there's 2 Grems there. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, my 6-year-old self just didn't really pay attention to that, all that incredibly detailed stuff. But yeah, this is Rod in disguise. Let me know what you guys think I also really like I said, the green really stands out. At least that's a difference from Grem. But yeah, this are the two different rod variants outside of the damaged one. But yeah, just a side-by-side comparison. I guess let me know which version of Rod you guys prefer. Do you prefer him as this car model or this car model? Sure is an obvious answer because one is supposed to be like a clunker car, one's supposed to be an actual, I guess, society norm, socially accepted, like not weird car model. I will say I've never really liked though how his rearview mirrors just obnoxiously like stick out on this one. Like I feel like I'd work better if these were like nubs. I just don't really like how they flare out, almost make them look like kind of ears, but trying to forcefully look like ears, and it's just a little uncomfortable to me. But alas, we probably will never see Rod Redline ever again because Mattel has shown absolutely no interest in me releasing him after all these years, which is kind of insane. Same goes with Professor Z, but one day, maybe. One day, by bar some frickin' miracle, if they actually care. But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think of Rod Redline in disguise. If you want to give him an alias name, feel free. You know, let me know what alias names you guys got to come up with this guy. But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think down below for this episode of Alternate Reality. Really love a bunch of my Lemon customs because I feel like there's so much potential, and a lot of their models, thankfully, you know, you can easily just reuse them to create something from the movie that we didn't get, like this one. So thank you guys for watching Rod Redline in disguise. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.